me is asleep, and we want her to feel rested as I wait for her to wake up because we're doing our first baby developmental milestone research study created by, well, hosted by Children's Hospital in Los Angeles. And this is our first time here, and I just wanted to share like what the study is about, what we've experienced so far before she fell asleep, and how I'm feeling about the study thus far. So I found this study, I'm gonna say on either Instagram or Facebook, let's just say Metaverse. I found it there, and it was an ad, and it was talking about developmental research for children 6 months and up. And I'm like, baby isn't 6 months yet, but maybe as they're vetting applications, maybe she'll be accepted because she's a new baby. I found the study, I'm gonna say mid-October. I spoke to someone on the phone regarding the study at the end of October, and we prospectively created the date for her first milestone study for December. So even though they say 6 months and up, they have a grace period where a child can do the study 5 months or after 6 months, like going into 7, to really give the parents wiggle room because, you know, appointments, working, that kind of thing. So we are 5 months in 2 weeks. It'll be 3 weeks tomorrow, and we wanted to go ahead and knock the research part out for the holidays. So that's why we're here prior to 6 months. And pretty much the study, what it's entailing is understanding the mitochondrial DNA, how it is affecting the child's growth. When I say growth, like mental growth and development. Development meaning their motor skills, listening skills, their senses pretty much. How is that correlating to how fast they're growing, and if the mitochondrial DNA, which is passed from the mother, me, how my mitochondrial DNA correlates to hers, and just that growth development. So with my background being in research, different research of course, but as an environmental health and biological international researcher, it like really interests me. So that's what made me want to sign up. And outside of that, like I think because as a first time mom, as well as someone who decided to be a stay at home mom, I think the best thing that I can do as a parent is utilize endless resources and tools to help her develop and grow. And this is like the essential time and pivot points where learning how to help her adapt, not just faster, but in an intentional way, like versus like, you know, just giving her toys to play with, or giving her toys that will make her mind think or enhance how she moves her her like hands, like using her left or her right hand, or putting things up or putting things down. Like they're naturally going to do it, but I feel like this is the time where I can take some of these skills that I'm seeing the researcher do with her, I can take back home and do it myself. And so the first part of, well, let me just rewind. So this is a paid study, a small paid study, so it's not thousands of dollars, but to compensate for our time, they do pay per session. And if we decide to do the 24 months and up, so pretty much 2 years old and up, we get paid more. And they do questionnaires and surveys to like see if you're mentally okay to do the research, and also they ask questions about the baby, your mental health, and also past like childhood developmental things for the parents on both sides, the mother and the father, as well as asking about any disease or illnesses that may have come across in either of our families' genealogy. Um, so they start with that, all of those things first. And then when you come into the office, there's 2 other questionnaires to just make sure you're mentally stable to go along with the process. Outside of that, they give you a little tour of the location. I'm in a really great area in LA. There's a little screen here, but the view is amazing, and the facility is great. It seems like I'm probably the only one here right now. I'm currently in the nursing room slash sleep room for the babies. It's really, quaint and cute. Nothing too crazy. Really quaint and cute. But when I first arrived, we did the questionnaires. We did my height, my weight. We did the baby's height, weights, head circumference, and length, as well as our temperatures. And afterwards, we went into the playroom. So in the playroom, there is a double-sided mirror so they can see on the other side, but there's also a camera inside that you have to give consent to. And then the researcher is sitting across the table, and we're sitting across the table, and she's just pulling out different types of toys, from bells to blocks to cups and like picture images. She's playing peekaboo, and we're really just trying to gauge, like, can she, is she looking at the right things? Is she realizing when something disappears? Like, is it like out of sight, out of mind? Or is she curious when things disappear? How well can her hand-eye coordination pick things up, put things down? And it's kind of almost like the researcher is doing like a repeat after me. So for example, she had these blocks, and she put the blocks in front of her, and she's like, pick them up. She's saying it in Spanish as well, because I'm teaching baby Spanish. And the baby's picking them up, and then she brings a cup out, and she's like, put the blocks in the cup. Put the blocks in the cup. And so my baby, she put some blocks in the cup, and then some blocks she just wanted to eat. And then like the next step was her covering the blocks with the cup and pulling them around, like scrambling them around, and asking the baby, where's the block? And baby's choosing which cup it is to choose the block. So it's memory, it's motor skill, it is seeing how fast her mind is processing things, or if she's doing them at all. And this isn't too far-fetched from some of the ABA work that I've done with quote-unquote infant stimulation. And pretty much I have a background in working with autistic children, but in this specific job that I had with infant stimulation, because you can't quote-unquote test a child for autism until the age of 3, we do different play simulations to pretty much build up the child's motor skills, or to identify certain autistic traits that we may see when kids are older. But if we're able to catch on to them early, we can still assist with the brain development and just seeing how children interact under the age of 3, and accounting that towards the research with autism, since it's kind of new with the past few decades. And so just adding towards that research, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Baby was tired. We kind of came in between like her nap time that was going to come for the interval, and we're just letting her rest, because an overstimulated baby and a sleepy baby, she was just gonna be fussy if we didn't stop. So I'm glad we did stop. So one, I can like soak in what's what's happening in this process. And yes, there will be segments where I'm going to be interacting with her, and they want to see how my interaction with her, it doesn't make a difference if she's playing with me versus a stranger versus by herself. So this is going to be really interesting. I actually do want to commit to coming to all 4 sessions. And like I said, this can do nothing but, you know, empower me and my parenting skills, and adding to her developmental motor skills, and challenge her mind. Babies are really smart, but they can become smarter if we as parents are using strategic teaching tools to, you know, just enhance their minds. So I'm really like excited to like get some blogs and like do that same segment that I just gave an example about, to test her mind and to speed her motor skills up and just like assist with her memory. I know in the future, like maybe around Christmas time, I do want to grab some flashcards for ABCs and addition and subtraction and numbers and colors and whatnot, to just, you know, get her familiar with seeing those things. So as she's stepping into 1 and 2 years old, and we're working on the letters of the alphabet and like putting letters and stuff together, she's just like refreshed. Like these aren't new things that she's saying. So yeah, if this is one way, if you're a mom, a stay-at-home mom, and you're looking to earn some extra cash and learn about your baby, find a research study in your area. Specifically, they're going to be tied to hospitals. This one is associated with the Children's Hospital in LA. Very reputable, very known. And you know, depending on how intense the research study will probably be associated with the amount of money that one will receive for their time. So this one is only $100 for the first session, but they did pay for my Uber. I could have drove, but I didn't want to hassle with traffic, driving, and we're still working with Bean and her car seat situation, because I no longer put my phone back there to console her. I'm really trying to get her away from screens, and we're doing such a good job as parents, me and Papa Bean. We've been working really hard with that, and I, you know, if I don't have to drive, I'm not going to volunteer to drive. So, yeah, this is really interesting thus far, and so I'm gonna pipe down so Baby Bean can continue sleeping. I want to apologize for the last video that I did. It was such a great view and whatnot, but for some reason the sound wasn't, it didn't, I don't know why. It didn't pick up any of the sound, so I'm going to have to do another video for her 4 and 5 month pediatrician check-ins. I may just make them 2 separate videos, but if you've ever done any research studies, like I want to know about them just as a curious mind, as a researcher. Drop it in the comments, tell me what kind of research it was and what did you discover about your child. And yeah, if you guys have any other questions, please drop them in the comment below. I will post a video, a compilation of pretty much what my day looks like with this video, the behind the scenes of everything, and probably a part 2 regarding like how the end of the session went. So this is Positive Ashley tuning out and wishing you guys a beautiful week. Next week is holiday week. Well, my eyelashes are really amazing. This is Fenty mascara, by the way.